I'm Mike.
I'm Jason.
Welcome to Snake Envy. We're going to continue some of our genetics conversations, and we have touched on line breeding as we've talked about other things, but we're going to kind of hone in on that one a little more. Because I'll be honest with you, as a hobbyist, I don't think I entirely understood line breeding. And talking to you now, it makes a lot more sense to me. So first off, when we say line breeding, what are we talking about specifically?
Well, line breeding is when you have a look, or you're trying to achieve a certain look, and you'll take, typically this is what line breeding is like. You are breeding your best animals to your best animals to get better looking animals than even the adults. You're working towards a prettier, better looking animal,
More refined.
like at least for us hobbyists.
But sometimes you're very specific in terms of what trait.
Like,
so talk about mountain king snakes.
So like I don't do it anymore, work with these anymore, but I had Patagonia mountain pyros from Arizona Mountain Kings from Patagonia Mountains. Rick Blair, a few of these guys that started this project, Matt Smith, they noticed that males in particular, it was almost sexual dimorphic even, where they would have less black on their triads. And so they kept getting the best animals, taking the best animals. Eventually, you're left with like a pinstripe of black because you're line breeding for less or reduced or no black even, and like in Applegate pyros. There's others, there's many. There's like, this goes for all species. You can use it like for say the long blotched gray bands. My friend Matt Smith started that line. He noticed he had a generic gray banded king snake. She had a really long neck blotch that was 3-4 inches, and so he took that animal, bred it to his best looking animal with big blotches, and then all of a sudden he's holding back babies, holding back and breeding, best to best, and eventually you're getting a snake with a red back instead.
Yeah, and we've shown that long.
We've shown them before.
We've shown that one in prior videos. Is that one brewmating, or do you have?
Yeah, they're brewmating.
Do you have an example out here, maybe?
I don't.
Okay. Maybe I'll link to one of our shorts, because we have shown that particular snake, and yes, what would normally be a series of bands is big. 3/4 of that one particular snake is one band.
And that's from line breeding. You're working towards a certain look, and that's what line breeding is.
Now, you had a snake born this year with a paradox. Is that something that you might use line breeding to see if you can replicate it?
I will. It may not fall under line breeding per se. Like, it might. We'll find out if it's even genetic.
Right.
Like if it's inheritable. And I keep hearing from many, many people that paradox isn't.
But it's just random.
But you never know, because every species of snake can act different genetically. Just because paradox didn't work in a ball python or a hognose, it might work in a bull snake or a king snake. You just need to try. And you don't know until you try, so that is a form of line breeding. So,
do you have an example of a line bred trait in the snakes in this room that you could show us real quick? Like maybe something you're working on?
I do have one that I'm working on a color, a specific color. And so I have, my friend started this project, I kind of took it over. He bred, these are Sonoran gophers. Christmas Mountain locality is known for their vibrant colors.
Yes.
They grow into it. Meekers Meeker is an aberrant gene in Sonoran gophers. Meekers tend to be dirty, kind of ugly color, like burnt oranges and dirty browns and stuff. So what my friend did is he bred a Christmas Mountain to a Meeker. So you get F1s and they look normal. The parents turned out amazingly, like the yellow on this adult male, it's F1 and it's just stunning. And we've showed him before too. But I have some babies that I held back from that breeding. They are a year and a half old now and they're Meekers. And so I want to try to get a bright yellow Meekers instead of this dirty, dingy look. So,
something brighter.
And they're halfway grown, and we can show you them, and there is a big difference in those. So,
Wow.
and so that's really yellow for a Meeker.
Yeah, relatively young and very yellow.
She's a year and a half. The male is pretty similar to her. She's a little bigger. But yeah, I expect this to be banana yellow in a year from now. We'll see. I don't know. Nobody knows because it hasn't been done yet, but we're going to check it out.
And this is a first generation.
This is F2.
This is second. Okay.
Yeah, because the F1s are important, but they usually aren't super stellar, but the parents from these ones are stellar. They're bright yellow, and I expect this should be better than the parents, and they're amazing. So we'll check back on this guy in a year and see how they turned out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.